Hello, are you broilers feeding a lot at your farm, but they are not gaining the weight? Maybe there is a mistake that you are not understanding and you're doing it at your farm. So you are losing all your profits, yet in broiler farming, we need to make profits. So if you're one of them and you've been making a lot of losses because of the mistakes, your birds are feeding a lot, but they are not growing, stick around, watch this video up to the end. You are going to be answered. In this video, I'm sharing with you people a few mistakes that people do, and even you, if you're there and you're doing it, you have to stop it. Okay, so stop these mistakes and you are going to enjoy the profits. The mistake number one that people always do at their farms is if they feed their birds with wrong feeds. Normally, when you are feeding, when you get your birds at your farm, you are meant to use the right feeds. What are the right feeds? Broilers need starter pellets when they are young, and broilers also need grower pellets when they have grown after 1 week. And also, when they reach week 3, week 4, week 5, they need the right feeds as well. Yeah. So what are the right feeds? Starter feeds, grower feeds, and of course finisher feeds. Yeah. So when you introduce finisher feeds at early stage, you are going to be affecting your flock. You are going to be affecting and you will not have a good performance. So make sure that you give your birds the right feeds in order that you may have the birds to grow very fast. If your birds are feeding on finisher, they are supposed to have grower pellets, they are going to have a lot of issues while performing. At your farm, you're going to be actually having a lot of issues. So make sure that you use the right feeds at the right time, okay? If you don't do that, you are going to suffer a lot of uh, losses. So make sure that you use finisher at the right time, okay? And of course, the second mistake is sudden changes in feeds, okay? So when you suddenly change the feeds, okay, the birds will actually get stressed. The birds will be stressed. But if you get your birds, and if you're changing, maybe for example from starter pellets to grower pellets, for example, you are meant to mix the new feeds with the old feeds so that the birds may first blend with the new feeds. But if you, but if you just rush and you just remove the other one, put this one, new one, you are going to make the birds to be stressed. Okay? Yeah. So these are our birds, as you can see inside there. We are selling them off. Soon you will find when the structure is empty. Yeah, for us here we don't delay, you see. Just look at them. They are now countable. Maybe like 100 birds only which are there, which are remaining. And I know by tomorrow we shall be done. Anyway, so we were talking about the mistakes that you are meant to leave while you are raising the birds. Okay? So when we were saying that sudden changes of feeds is going to affect the birds, they will be stressed, and when they are stressed, they will lose appetite. Okay, they will lose appetite, and when they lose appetite, it's not a good thing. The birds will not perform very well. So make sure that you help the birds to perform very well. And also another thing that you have to know that when you just change the feeds suddenly, it can also cause diarrhea for the birds because their system is used with the other type of feeds and you just suddenly change. So make sure that you give them the right feed at the right time, and also when you're changing to another type of feeds, make sure that you have a gradual changes. Maybe you mix them for about 2 days before you now leave it to the other new feeds. Yeah, but otherwise you will keep seeing diarrhea in your flock and you buy all the antibiotics, but it is because of just the feeds. So make sure that you have all the things that are needed at your farm at the right time, that is the feeds. But when it comes to the time of changing, then you are meant to change gradually. Don't just rush, because when you rush, you're gonna stress the birds and you'll get just the poor growth. Yeah, this tripod is disturbing me a bit, so I'm trying to fix it. So the other one is feeding the birds in dirty feeders. One of the things that the mistake that people are doing is feeding the birds in the dirty feeders. What dirty feeders do is they are going to keep infections, and those infections are going to affect your birds. Recently, I've been not supervising very well my birds, and there was an outbreak of sudden deaths at the farm. So I realized that my boy who helps me, he has not been actually paying attention to a few things. He has been cleaning the feeders, but not well. Yeah. So until I came in and I checked, I saw there was a coating, a green coating on the drinkers and the feeders. So we had to clean the things afresh, and we sorted out the sudden death because the infection was coming because of the E. coli infection. E. coli comes out of the dirty things, and of course coccidiosis, those things. So make sure that you treat your birds when they are actually sick. But there are some sickness which come because of you yourself being careless, okay, or being lazy to check your farm. So bosses who are there, make sure that you don't just leave the farms for your workers because you want to be boss. Being boss is good, but it's going to cost you big loss at your farm. So make sure that you are also part of the team that is running the project. So I came in and I realized that the birds were consuming that water. Uh, so I had to sort it out, and right now the birds are growing very well. They are entering their 6th week, but they are doing well. You can see. Yeah, they are doing well right now. They are very big, and people are just buying them very fast. So if you're there, be conscious on the feeders and the drinkers at your farm, because if you're not conscious, you are going to feed your birds with dirty water, and when you feed them with dirty water, they are meant to become sick, and when they become sick, it means you've started losing the profits. Yeah. Then the other thing which people do, the other mistake that people are doing in their farms, is feeding the birds on the low quality feeds. When we talk about the low quality feeds, sometimes people don't understand, but the thing we are simply meaning is you want to cut costs because of maybe you don't have enough capital at your farm. But if you don't have enough capital at your farm, then you are supposed to make sure that you even borrow money and make sure that you give the birds the quality feeds. Poor quality feeds will reduce the weight at your of it will reduce the weight of your birds. Okay, you will see the birds are not gaining, and you wonder what is the issue. But because of the poor quality feeds you're giving to your birds, maybe the feeds are moist, maybe the feeds are overdelayed in the store, and you're just giving them. So make sure that you stock the feeds which are meant to be used in a period of 3 days or 1 week. Beyond that, you are going to be uh, stocking things which are going to be of poor quality. Then the other one, it will cause birds to be weak. Okay, when you feed them on the poor quality feeds, their birds are going to be weak simply because they are consuming things which are not of quality. So avoid giving the birds poor quality things. And of course, it's going to cost you because the birds will delay to grow, and they will delay to go to the market. That is a bad thing, because when these birds delay and they enter the 50th week when you have not started selling because the weight is small, then you are in a loss. So make sure that you are giving the birds the good quality feeds so that the birds may give you the good results. If they don't give you good results, then it's going to cost you yourself a big loss. So make sure that you are giving the birds on the good quality feeds. Okay, if you don't do that, don't even cry, because it will be your own mistake. Then number 5 is not giving them enough water. Let me tell you, friends, farmers, these birds, most of their feeds to be converted rely on the water. Okay? So if you leave your feeders, your drinkers rather, empty and the birds are having food, you're causing a lot of suffocation to the birds. Let me give you an example. If you're eating food, okay, you have a standby water source, okay? Maybe your water is in the cup on the table, either in a jerrycan or a jug, wherever you collect your water for drinking. Even the birds, let their drinkers have water 24/7, okay? Because their food, when they eat and there is no water, the digestion will not be complete, okay? And it is going to cause them to even die. You will see sudden death and you wonder what is the issue. So if the water is unavailable or it is dirty, those are the things that you're going to do. One, the birds, when they are not drinking water, they are going to even reduce in their eating. Okay? They are going to reduce in their eating, and when they reduce to eat, then that is bad. And their growth will become very low. And of course, the birds will become stressed. When they are stressed, you are going to be in a big mess because they will not perform very well. So make sure that the birds have fresh, clean water at all times. Yesterday, I remember the night shift, I was not among the team. So I went for a short call in the night. So afterwards, I had to visit the chicken house. But I found there are some drinkers which were empty. That was a bad thing. I had to talk to my guy to wake up and we had to redo what they call a night shift. So make sure that you always supervise because there is a system that workers have. They don't care. What they know is at the end of the month, their pay will be there. So make sure that you are supervising these details. Okay? If you just be there that you want to be bossy, I'm telling you the project will fail you. Okay? And these birds are sensitive birds. Okay? They are not like local birds which can survive the in all the seasons. These ones, they need their water to be available. And another last mistake that people keep doing is overcrowding the birds. Okay, if you overcrowd this bird, that is a big mistake. The birds are not going to add the weight when when you you put them in a small room. They are not adding the weight. They are going to be stressed. They will not eat very well. They are going to be just in a war. Okay? I don't think any of you would love to be in a war. In your country, if you have a war, you are going to be stressed. You are going to feel like running away in such a place. So even these birds, when they are overcrowded, they will be like more like they are in a war because they will be fighting for feeds. They will be even pouring the feeds, and everything will be a total mess. So make sure that your birds are not overcrowded. And of course, the other mistake that people do in their farms is being away for long, and you want to do the business of poultry on a phone. I'm telling you, you cannot do poultry business on a phone. Okay, you can travel and go away, but it will be a mistake for you to go, for example, and start a job in Kampala when your farm is in Tororo, and you're there for like from January to December. You just call and then I'm telling you, things are going to just go off. Okay, you need to be on the ground to supervise. So that is a bonus mistake that also broiler farmers are doing or poultry farmers are doing. Don't fall a victim. So make sure that you follow all these steps. Check these mistakes. If there is one of them which you have been doing, revise it and you remove it. In doing that, you're going to be free and your birds will be performing to 100%. So tell me what you think or tell me how you do it. If this video has helped you, please like, share and leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel. So I remain Henry at Uganda Growers. These are our birds which are ready. Catch you very soon in another video. Lots of love. Tell me what you want me to share about in the comment section. Bye.